Good afternoon. I'd like to introduce you to Sarah Winckless, who won a bronze medal in rowing in Athens and is 2 times world rowing champion, plus first female umpire for Henley Royal Regatta and first female umpire for the boat race, amongst other things. I believe you were a Cambridge Blue in how many sports?
Well, 3 really, I guess. No, 4, at least 4, yes. 4 sports, lots of events.
Slightly overachieving.
Just very tall, as you can see.
Yeah. Yeah, as I gaze up. So do you think, so you have the Huntington's gene,
Yeah.
and your mother sadly died of Huntington's over a long period of time. Do you think that the reason you are not showing symptoms yet is because you're fit and healthy and have had a good diet and lots of exercise? Do you think that's helped?
I think that definitely can help. Certainly, if you can stay active, if you can look after yourself. I think we all know sleep is the first pillar of health. If you can manage that, all of those things we think can help. But of course, Huntington's is 50-50 genetics. You might get it from your parent or not, and also the number of repeats in that genetics can make a difference to when you get it, so the age that you're likely to get ill. Now, Mum and I are very fortunate that we actually have very, very good genetics for those within the Huntington's community. However, Mum, for whatever reason, she got it at a sort of the average age, a very young age for our genetics, and so far, fingers crossed, I'm doing well.
Brilliant, that's very good news. And was there you found out while you were at Cambridge that you had the gene. Was there a turning point that made you think, I've got to just be the best I can be in a shorter period of time than anybody else? Or what made you go on to do all these amazing things?
I think I was really lucky with the people around me. I was at Cambridge and Mum wasn't right, but I didn't know she had Huntington's. So it was that time I first learnt about Huntington's, and I was studying the brain as part of my experimental psychology course. So I was really fascinated, and for me I wanted to know the result of my genetics, and I learnt I had the gene. And did that free me? I don't know, I think it could have gone either way. I had a brilliant moment with one of my rowing coaches, Ian Dryden, and I got him, you were looking at this river and you guys have been out in this getting cold and wet, and there'll be moments every time, I'm sure, that you want to quit, you don't want to do it. Anyway, I was on the rowing machine and I was having one of those moments, and I stopped, I went, oh my God, there's no point, I've got Huntington's. And it was really real to me, that moment, that I had got Huntington's, but Ian, who I love to death, just went, not today you don't, get back on there. And I was like, that is just the best thing that he could have done for me. And I think I feel so grateful that I've got some knowledge, I can do what I want to do with my life, and what amazing lots of opportunities I have had, and I've managed to grab them.
Yes, you've made the most of them. I think that's the point, isn't it, really? And do you think that, because you studied natural sciences, do you think that knowledge and really knowing the proper ins and outs of things has helped you?
Yeah, I've been fortunate as well to be able to talk to some amazing researchers, because Huntington's goes in families. You see researchers who can't study it for a year or 2 and then fall in love with it, if that's the right word for life. They absolutely dedicate their lives to it. So I understand a bit. I'm a complete novice, of course. I did it in my degree, but there are people who have so much deeper knowledge than I do. But I do think understanding the body, understanding the brain allows you to be yourself with skill. And yeah, I do really get fascinated by that, boringly so quite often.
No, I agree with you that knowledge is key. I have to know things, otherwise I'm always searching for the answers.
How do you think it's changed your life, having this, as it were, hanging over you in a sense, and I guess having seen, your mum's condition?
I think my teenage life was really changed by it, because Mum, we didn't know what was wrong with her. And this amazing woman who, I was born in Henley down the road, and we lived in this community, and people here will remember her as the Life is Older party. And then we moved somewhere else. Mum remarried, had 2 more kids, and changed. And it was a really difficult time for us, because she was different, and yet as a family, and my stepdad was instrumentalist, we allowed her to do as much as possible for as long as possible. So when she wasn't able to go out on the river in nice big safe skiff boats, she learnt to use a fine single scull, and those of you who know the river will know that that's a 14-kilo knife edge. And so she created this amazing example that just had in her mind, no barriers. She just, if she couldn't do something, she found another way, and I think that's helped me.
It sounds like you've got that in your character as well, to be fair.
Yes, it didn't just inherit the gene from Mum.
No. And all, your entire family rode, your dad and your stepfather both rode, didn't they? Did they both have Cambridge Blues for that? Or?
Yeah, they have very good research.
Well.
Yeah, so my dad actually coached my stepdad. So yes, my father. I know. So my father was up in Cambridge in the late 60s and the early 70s, racing 3 boat races. And my stepdad was a couple of years later, and he then went to Olympic Games, got Olympic silver.
Ah.
So, yes, and winning a medal, I guess for me, was normal. I knew he'd done it. I don't think I ever got to see his medal. It wasn't around the house.
Really?
There weren't loads of pictures. He didn't want to put that pressure on us. But we kind of knew that he was this really special man, and he had achieved that.
And then, and your MBE, did you get to meet the Queen?
I did.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
You've
Love
never
to meet the
seen
Queen.
a room full of people
I
who
bet she
are
was
being
like-
awarded so afraid.
Really?
Because you go and you have this reception, you meet all the other people who are getting MBs, and their stories are incredible. They've done incredible things.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're like, let's talk to all these people, and then you get queued up, and I think it's probably alphabetical. So as Winckless, as ever, I was
At the back.
and it goes quieter and quieter as you get. It's like going in front of someone. Well, clearly it's someone very, very special, but it sort of goes quieter, and everyone's like, oh, I'm not sure I want to do it. What if I fall over? But yeah, it was, and you had to sort of go and meet Her Majesty, and then walk backwards, and then remember to turn the right way.
Right,
I
okay.
got to fall over.
Yeah,
And she's
exactly.
tiny, isn't she?
Yeah.
She was on the step.
In terms of the outlook for people with Huntington, Sarah, how has it changed, since your mother went through the disease and now you've got your diagnosis, obviously. How have things changed in terms of treatments and outlook for people with the condition?
So I think if we don't look at treatments and outlook at the moment, because that's, but I will go there.
Yeah.
I think community-wise, I think for me, one of the things we're doing at the moment is it's Huntington's Awareness Month, and we really want people to understand this disease. We want people to think twice when they see someone who looks a bit different, does something a bit different in the street, and thinks actually is there something going with them psychologically or in their brain, not just are they drunk or are they on drugs.
Yeah.
And what we've done is try and create some real hubs of community. So in Parliament a few years ago we had a Hidden No More campaign, and what we were trying to encourage people to stop hiding this disease within your family, talk about it, get connections. And even 3 weeks ago we had a meeting of Huntington's families, and we all just told our stories, and each one is different, but these common themes, and suddenly those common themes bond you and make you feel less isolated. So I think what's really different from when Mum got diagnosed is there are communities now. The internet is an amazing thing when you can plug into and talk to people real time about what their experience is. Research wise, as I mentioned earlier, there's researchers who are absolutely incredible and follow the whole journey, and we've had a couple of research projects which were massively hopeful, and we were so hopeful that they were going to really support people like me, and unfortunately about the last 4 to 6 weeks they failed. 2 of them have failed. So I think as the community we feel a bit rocked about that, and I know the researchers are as deflated as some of us, but it's not the end, it's another a sort of roundabout or crossroads, so there will be learning, but it's just a bit soon for us to go, oh yippee, off we go again with that. But it is an incredible, they do describe it as the most curable non-curable disease, and I do believe that's the case. So we know what causes it, we know the genetics, we know what happens in the brain, and now all we need is those brilliant scientists, as I say, to intend to fix it. I hope they fix it, but they're working really hard.
Sarah, so what do you think about what the Henley Mermaids are doing to raise money for Huntington's?
Oh, for me, what the Henley Mermaids are doing, first of all, is actually the physical thing that you're doing is inspirational, and just to see you training out here has been brilliant, an inspiration in this time. But to raise money for Huntington's and the other charities is really, really important. It really will make a difference to families, to people like me. So thank you very much. If you are watching this, please can you donate? It would be brilliant to see you clicking on that website.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you.